Yasmin was a beautiful, attractive, cheerful, and light-hearted young woman. She was married, but she suffered many problems with her husband. So, she decided to escape from his house in one of the villages and came to the city to live with her aunt. But her aunt and her husband were both bad people. The aunt was a materialistic woman who loved money and was ready to do anything for it, even if she had to sell herself. She had a bad reputation. As for her husband, he was a vile man who used to harass Yasmin and bother her constantly. Yasmin decided to look for a job. She found work in a printing shop owned by an old man, over 65 years of age. This man was known for his many affairs with women, and he tried with every girl who worked for him. Her aunt was the one who directed her to this job, since the old man was notorious for his behavior. And because the aunt herself was infamous, it was only natural that both knew each other. The old man tried to get closer to Yasmin, but she stopped him, telling him that she could not enter into any kind of relationship because she was still married and legally bound to another man. In this way, the old man did not lose hope of reaching her, while Yasmin used this excuse to keep her job because she needed it badly. In that same printing shop, there was a young man, 28 years old. He was very close to the old owner, almost like a son. The old man trusted him with everything, even sharing his shady affairs with him. But the young man was on leave for 3 days due to personal reasons, though he still used to come in the evenings for an hour to sit with the old man and talk. The first day of the young man's leave was also Yasmin's first day at work. The old man told her about the young man, describing him as good and loyal. She even began to admire him from the old man's words before seeing him. That evening, the young man came and saw Yasmin for the very first time. He admired her greatly, since he had already been interested in her from what the old man said. But his admiration and affection grew even stronger once he saw her with his own eyes. Yasmin also felt his gaze upon her, and she tried more than once to catch him staring at her. But every time, he quickly turned his face before she could see him. One day, the young man was sitting with the old man in his office when his phone rang. He went outside to answer the call. When he came back, he found Yasmin sitting in his chair. He joked with her. "Excuse me, that's my seat. Please, get up." Yasmin smiled and replied, "You won't find another chair. This one is mine now." He said, "No, you'll find another chair." She answered playfully, "No, I won't get up." He pulled at the chair, and she pulled it back. In the end, Yasmin stood up and left the chair laughing. But what happened next turned the laughter into tears and the smile into sorrow. The young man was holding a small stick they used in the shop, and he playfully struck Yasmin on her back. In a place where he should not have joked, Yasmin could not accept what happened, even if it was a joke. She felt embarrassed and almost cried. She quickly left the office and went into another room to cry alone. After a short while, the old man left the shop, leaving the young man alone. Yasmin came back and sat on the office chair, speaking many words to provoke him, trying to get revenge for what he had done. But he kept silent until he finally said, "Enough. I know what I did was wrong, and it should not have happened. I apologize." But Yasmin continued to insult him, so he replied, "Fine, I'll leave you to talk to yourself." He went outside and found the old man there. They stood together, and the old man told him about Yasmin, that she was running away from her husband, and that he had tried with her, but she refused, claiming she was still married. He revealed everything. The young man went home. The next day, he came at the same time but didn't find Yasmin there. He began to think, did she stay away because she was upset with me after what happened yesterday? Or was it because of the old man and his intentions toward her? While he was thinking, Yasmin entered the office and said, "My love, how are you?" The young man was shocked. "What? My love? Are you talking to me? Is she crazy? Did she forget what happened yesterday?" But he teased her back. "How are you? You look beautiful today." And they continued talking as if nothing had happened. On the third day, the same thing happened again. Conversations, jokes, and looks of admiration from both sides. The old man told the young man that he would not be able to come in the morning to open the printing shop and would only arrive after noon. So he gave the young man the keys to open it himself. Yasmin overheard this. The young man was happy, knowing he would be with Yasmin alone, but he didn't show it. The next morning, Yasmin called him and said, "Good morning." He answered, "Good morning. What a beautiful day that starts with your voice." She laughed and said, "Well, hurry up. I don't want to wait in the street. You're the one who's opening the shop today, am I right?" He said, "No, you're not wrong. I'm the lucky one today." Yasmin understood what he meant, but she didn't comment. The young man rushed, took a shower, put on his clothes, and arrived at the shop in half an hour. Yasmin was waiting for him. They met with smiles and sweet words. He opened the door, and they both went inside, closing it behind them. And the viewer can imagine what happened inside. And so began the love story between Yasmin, the runaway wife, and the handsome young man who fell in love with her. They lived together in happiness and love. But this did not last long, for the old man began to notice, and the cunning aunt sensed what was going on, and the blackmail began. What will happen to Yasmin and the young man? We will find out in part 2. And don't forget to like the video, share it with your friends, and subscribe to the channel so you never miss the next chapter of Yasmin's story.